Hello everybody, my name is Craig Bennett. I'm the founder and owner of Tech Reviews and Help, and today I am going to help many parents and people who has other people use their computers and try to help you keep your computer secure, specifically if you don't want, say, a child going to certain sites, say if they're grounded or whatever the case may be. And it's just going to be an overall generalized how to keep your computer secure from someone else that's using your own computer. And this will include, again, keeping them from going to certain sites. And this is on all browsers, not only just Internet Explorer. And also how to keep them from installing things, how to block them from going to on a computer on certain times and things like that. This is on Windows 7. I've used Windows 8, and Windows 8 does have the same features. Any future Windows from that, I don't know, because none of them came out, and Windows 8 just came out. The reason why I'm doing this on Windows 7 is because Windows 8, it's same thing as Windows 7, but it's more for touchscreen computers. Anyways, this may be a multi-part video, so keep that in mind, and it's best to watch the entire video before you start actually doing the stuff. And please actually have the video going while you're doing this, so you're doing it step by step, and if you get lost anywhere, you can refer to the video. And if you do have questions, feel free to contact me. You go to my site, techreviewsandhelp.com. Go to contact us, and my email is within there. I'll show you at the very last part in the last video. Anyways, if let's say, for example, in hypothetical theory, you have a child and they either acted up or you're setting up an account for them, so you want them to have a child account. You will need two things. You need an administrator account and a child or a standard account. I recently had to do this for a family member, and this is how I did it. And this is going above and beyond than a normal person what they'll do, because a normal person what they'll do is easily hackable, even at a very, very, very minor technical skill. The first thing you need to do is, if the child or whatever has skin on it, you may not have the standard look. And before I forget to mention this, my computer may be a little slow because I'm recording this at the same time I am doing this, and recording anything is a little slow. But anyways, a skin can have normal looks to it, or a advanced look to it, like this, where you don't have that little box up here showing a picture. I mean, the icons and everything look different. So if it has a skin, you go to a control panel, and there's two ways to get to the users. You go to user account and family, and just select the user account, and make sure you're on administrator account. If you want to keep it as a administrator account afterwards, then have the account have a password on it, and make sure it's a strong enough password that no one else will be able to find out. And it's very important that you will be the only one, or you and your spouse will be the only ones to know the password if it's a child being blocked or someone else. The one thing to note, on a administrator account, you can actually change the user account control settings. And what this does is, every so often a little pop-up will come up, and this will stop it. Basically, if you notice this little shield, anything that you do on it, little changes and whatnot, say for right here, if I click OK, and if I didn't already disable it, a pop-up will come up. In fact, let me show you that. And now oh, I have to restart the computer. So I'm not going to be able to show you that, but you get the idea. And that user account control settings, it's kind of useless on the administrator, but on a standard account, leave it on and leave it at the max. It if you leave it off, from my understanding, I never really tested this part, but if you leave it off and disable it, what will happen is the standard account cannot download anything or install anything at all. But if you leave it on at all, and it's preferably that you leave it on at the max, the standard account needs the administrator's password. So that means that if your child or whomever wants to install something, they have to get your permission, and you have to put in the password in for them to install it. Other words, they won't be able to install certain things, and they may have to for school, because in the future you actually have no idea if the school requires a child to install certain software, and I have had that in the past when I went into high school. Let me show you the other way, and I'll be right back. Alright, and on a normal computer, and pretty much every other computer out there in the world, will have a look like this, especially Windows 7. And you'll have a little icon up here. Windows 8, it has this if you go to the desktop mode, and everything is pretty much like Windows 7, except for it doesn't have this little thing. There's a way you can actually get it on there. It's by a modification. I'm not going to get into that right now, but you can go through the control panel on Windows 8 and still get to the same areas, so keep that in mind. In any future Windows, it's usually through the control panel. You go through the user settings, and it's like I showed you before. You just got to find a control panel. Anyways, on Windows 7, you just click that, and the next thing is click the manage their account. So let's say this is a administrator account, and you want to set up an account for your child. You create a new account, and please remember, again, it's just recording, so it's a little slow, and so you just add a account name and then just keep it as standard. And if the current account you're using, if you want it as your child's account, say they already got it and all their stuff's on it, and you want to make an account for you, just make an account, but leave it as an administrator. Log off of this account, your current account, then log into the account that you made as administrator, and I will show you in a second how to bump down the child's account to standard. I'll name this as I say 123 and create account, and now you got this. So you got to the account, to this screen right here, select the manage account, and say that's the administrator account, and that's your child's account. You would go to change account type, or change the account type, and from administrator, just go to standard. And what this means is they cannot put a password on the computer, they cannot install anything. Default mode for Windows 7, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be for future Windows, is if you are an administrator, you can install whatever you want. But if you're a standard user and the administrator account has a password, the standard user, cannot install anything without the administrator's direct permission, which means you got to have their direct password, which means you need to have a strong enough password when you make a administrator account so your child or whomever cannot figure out the password. In other words, everything they did is pointless. So anyways, you made account type, made account. You can have them change their picture. I think they can do that themselves. I believe the password they cannot do themselves, and I'm almost 100% sure about that. I'm not going to go through that because otherwise it's going to make a longer video and it's harder to do. And you can test out. It's best for you to test out these features at the end by logging off the administrator account, going on to the child's accounts, and just flat out testing each little thing that you don't want them to do. If you don't want them to go to the game, try to test out, see if you can get on that game. If you can get on that game, you automatically know that if you handed that computer over, then what you did was in vain. So you got to figure out a way to make them not get on that game or whatever it is. Before going further, one thing I have to advise is just try to get to the manage another account. Make sure that your guest account is off, because what that does is if you have a guest account, a person could sit down at the computer and hack the computer from the guest account. It's a very easy hack method. I'm not really sure why they even have a guest account on most of these computers unless they're in retail. But I guess right now will be a good stopping point, and please look for part 2, and we will get into the parental control and also into how to block your child or whoever from certain sites above and beyond the original method that the average person wouldn't go by. And this is not hard. You don't really need technical skills. Just follow the video step by step and watch it through to the end, and watch it while you're doing it. That way, if you get lost, you can trace back to the video. And if you got any questions, I am happy enough to answer emails, and you can leave a comment, but I might not be able to see the comment either in time or at all. So anyways, look for part 2.